Hello everyone, I'm Mistic and welcome to Mistic Reacts. Today we are watching another casually explained video, Red Flags. I wonder how many I tick off. Make sure to check out his video below and let's get started.
In dating and relationships, a red flag is a small thing you notice in someone else's behavior that's symptomatic of a bigger problem. The trouble is that oftentimes a red flag can be hard to pick up on because red flags aren't only what someone does, they can also be what they don't do.
Yeah.
And some red flags are certainly worse than others, so I want to start with the more mild ones and move up from there.
Sure.
Assuming you start with a blank white flag, at the lowest level we have red and white flags, which are just small quirks or inconsistencies that aren't bad, just kind of weird.
Which is
Things
now
like they
a
don't lick the
beige
yogurt off the
flag.
lid, they use Internet Explorer, they hold the door open for you as soon as they see you park your car, or they're apologetic even if something is your fault. Basically, if it can be explained with, "Oh, Canadian," then it's probably in this category. So let's get started on the serious stuff. Low-tier red flags.
Okay.
A low-tier red flag is something that's probably bad, but not necessarily a complete deal breaker. They don't laugh at your jokes. I thought this was just normal.
Immediate deal breaker. What do you mean? I'm funny. You gotta laugh.
But they say if a girl doesn't laugh at your jokes, she probably isn't very compatible with you. If a girl is really into you, though, she'll likely laugh at all your jokes, even if they're not very good. They have a secretive past. This depends a lot on how communicative the person is. They might just be anxious about sharing personal details, but if they have no problem talking about anything and everything except their past, there's either something they don't want you to know, which is pretty bad, or they're a Russian spy.
But if they talk about their past too much, that's also a red flag. Like constantly bringing up like exes and stuff.
Which is pretty hot. Putting you on a pedestal, that is to say they think you're way out of their league.
Maybe I am.
This one's obviously more common for guys to do to girls, but it can go the other way around too. Imagine I was in bed with a girl. Just gonna let that sink in. Imagine I was in bed with a girl and she whispered, "Oh my god, casually explained. Tell me again about how many subscribers you have." Of course, that would be a huge turn on and I have dreams about that, but it's probably going to be a pretty one-sided relationship. Think of how celebrities almost always date each other even though they could be with any fan they wanted.
Wait, who is
They have
that?
the same last name as you. That's a bad sign.
Yeah.
In most places. Alright,
Alabama.
mid-tier red flags. These are a bit more serious and are usually harder to overcome or talk about. Tread very carefully if you notice any of these. They're a stripper. On paper it might sound well and good, but when
Come on now. That's a green flag.
it inevitably doesn't work out, you'll realize that from now on you can only pay for things by card. Worth it. They don't have any independence. That is to say, if they have no interests or hobbies or ambitions in their life, it's likely they'll try to involve themselves in every moment of yours.
That might be me. I'm a little clingy.
She'll eventually weigh you down and get in the way of your goals. Kind of like Reddit. They trash talk their ex a lot early in the relationship. This is usually an indicator they're still emotionally invested in their previous partner, and it can be very difficult to build a new relationship from the rubble of an old one. Got that from Tumblr. Using ultimatums. These are saying things like, you have to do X, or I'm going to do Y. You have to watch out though, because that's like me saying, if you don't subscribe, I'm not going to be your friend, which I would never
Subscribe, or I'm gonna take away your phone.
say. Only think. Alright, next is high tier red flags. These are the ones that are complete deal breakers and are pretty much always
Hopefully,
non-negotiable.
I don't do anything on this
They're
list.
married, unless
Nope.
you're into that. They're already pregnant,
Nope.
unless you're into that. They're under 18.
Nope.
This isn't just a red flag, it's a felony, but
Yep.
if you do find yourself attracted to girls who are still in high school, a great way to get over that is to talk to one of them. Now, they treat waitstaff poorly. I think being mean to other people in general is a good sign of how they're going to treat you in the future, and
Yeah.
I know that'd be hard to deal with because my self-esteem is based on what other people think of me. If you don't like their friends, people tend to be friends with people similar to them, and if someone surrounds themselves with unsavory individuals, it tells you a lot about that person. Now, after a long time, eventually you might find that after going on date after date or going through relationship after relationship, even just after meeting a lot of new people, you start to think, it really seems like pretty much everyone I meet has something wrong with them. They don't get me, they always have problems that they don't think are problems. I can't connect with them at all, and why can't I find someone who's not such a disaster? This is the maximum tier red flag.
It's me.
It's actually just you.
Yeah.
This might sound pretty bad, but in a way, realizing that you might be a bit more responsible than you previously thought is the first step to becoming a more wholesome person and having better relationships with other people. And if you have a friend who shared this video with you, now is the moment where you reflect on whether they thought you'd find it funny and interesting, or if they're trying to passive-aggressively tell you something.
Uh-oh. That last one is kinda true for me, but like, I've also been a little unlucky. Also, make sure to watch that video that you see right here. It was a little short for me to react to it on here, but I enjoyed it. Until next time, bye bye.